Natural? 51 years old?
What do you think of Tyson and Jake?
I wish he didn't do it. I wish it wasn't a thing. I wish it wasn't a thing where a 58-year-old guy was going to fight a 28-year-old. That said, that out the window.
If you're Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
If you're Mike Tyson, you know. I mean, even Paul, bro. Paul is not a small guy.
No.
He's big. Like, a lot of guys think he's tiny. He's a huge boy.
He's a big dude, and he can crack.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan just exposed what could be the biggest scam in boxing history. And yes, it's exactly what you're thinking. Jake Paul's fight against Mike Tyson might have been faker than a reality TV audition. Rumors suggest Tyson, the legendary knockout artist who once terrified opponents before the first bell, was pressured into taking a dive. At 58 years old, the boxing icon allegedly held back for dubious reasons, all to let Jake Paul, the internet's most overhyped fighter, claim an empty victory. The real question, is this sports entertainment or just a farce?
This was not something for some charity. No. We're going to do this. And Jake Paul, they asked Jake Paul, did he take his foot off the gas? Stephen A., this is what he said. Yeah, definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Joe Rogan isn't holding back, calling out the scripted nonsense behind the spectacle we all witnessed. Mike Tyson fans are outraged, and rightly so. The irony is almost poetic. We all cheered for Tyson's return to the ring, riding high on the excitement of his comeback. It's Mike Tyson, we thought, convinced he had it in the bag. Now we're left choking on humble pie, realizing how badly we misjudged the situation. The legend we idolized was part of a disappointing charade.
Forget that Jake Paul is a YouTube guy and watch him box.
Yeah.
The kid can fight, 100%. And that Tommy Fury fight really showed that. I mean, it goes to a split decision against a legit undefeated boxer.
Yeah. He doesn't, I'll tell you what, the one thing he doesn't want to do is fight Mike.
No.
He wants to fight Mike, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't give a if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
He was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time.
Before I break down what really happened, Joe Rogan made one thing clear. If this had been prime Mike Tyson, Jake Paul wouldn't have survived past the first round. You've seen the Marvis Frazier fight, right? That wasn't a fight. It was an execution. Rogan said, shaking his head at the absurdity of anyone questioning it. Sure, Tyson at 58 isn't the same beast he was decades ago, but Rogan still wasn't impressed by Jake's odds. Tyson's terrifying, Rogan remarked, referencing the legend's raw power and intensity. The guy's eating raw meat and sweating through interviews like he's training for the apocalypse. And Jake. Rogan joked he's probably somewhere Googling ways to gracefully back out of a fight. Even with Tyson far past his prime, Rogan compared the matchup to a lion versus a house cat. Jake might think he's a big deal, but Tyson's smash men, plural, for fun. Good luck with that.
So we had Mike Tyson in when he was 300 pounds. And he was just eating and having fun and smoking weed. He goes, I don't even work out. He goes, if I work out, it'll excite myself. It'll excite my ego. And then I don't like that person. So he just decided that he was just going to be chill Mike Tyson. And then he got this offer to fight Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So he gets in insane shape. And the next time I see him, the second podcast we do, Mike now weighs 230.
Tyson, the man, the myth, the table destroyer. According to Joe Rogan, there's a dark chamber in Tyson's mind, and it's wide open. Rogan even redesigned his podcast table after hosting a 300-pound Tyson mid-snack and mid-joint, which had him rethinking his life choices. I don't work out, Tyson had said, explaining that exercise excites his ego, a version of Tyson nobody wants unleashed. Fast forward to his Roy Jones Jr. fight, and Tyson is back at 230 pounds of pure muscle. Rogan, he's suddenly considering thicker tables, just in case the beast resurfaces.
Tyson people talk to. People are there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
The fight with Roy Jones Jr. wasn't a brawl. It felt more like sparring wrapped in nostalgia. Rogan's convinced there was a "don't punch me in the head" gentleman's agreement, which makes sense since Jones isn't exactly Tyson-sized. Tyson, as Rogan puts it, is a different mass entirely, a human wrecking ball with a dense, terrifying frame. But this Jake Paul fight? No head-punching limits here. It's all systems go, and Tyson is reportedly breathing like he's ready to flatten someone's face again.
Mike Tyson. These people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely.
The audacity of some people to think Jake Paul could stand a chance against Mike Tyson is beyond belief. Let's break down this absurdity. Sure, Tyson is 57, nearly 58, but age doesn't mean he's out of the fight. His prime may be long gone, and he's taken punishing hits from legends like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, but that's a different league entirely. Comparing Tyson's legacy to the skill set of an internet-famous boxer like Jake Paul, it's not just unlikely, it's downright laughable. Let's get real.
Chance in hell that Jake Paul would survive against the Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC.
Let's put this in perspective. George Foreman, at 45, reclaimed the heavyweight title with a knockout so perfect it's still studied today. Even at 48, he went toe-to-toe with Shannon, the Cannon Briggs, proving age doesn't erase greatness. It just adds layers to the legend.
And human growth hormone and peptides.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mike Tyson, yeah, he's 57, but he got access to
everything.
Everything.
And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation that I've talked to some people that do that. And it has massive benefits of rehabilitating injuries.
Back in the day, older fighters didn't have the modern biohacking tools we see now. Mike Tyson, however, has access to the full arsenal: testosterone replacement therapy, human growth hormone, peptides, you name it, he's likely using it. This isn't your typical 57-year-old struggling to climb stairs. Tyson is a scientifically optimized machine, determined to prove he's still got it. One of the cutting-edge tools in his training is neuromuscular electrical stimulation. This isn't some gimmick. It's a high-tech device that sends impulses through the body, forcing muscles to contract during workouts. Imagine doing squats or deadlifts while a machine jolts your muscles into overdrive. The benefits: faster recovery, increased blood flow, and even rehabilitation for old injuries. Tyson used this technology to prep for his fight with Roy Jones Jr., and is reportedly incorporating it into his current training. At nearly 58, he's rewriting what's possible for aging athletes.
Smashing the mitts, like, Jesus. That guy can still fuck you up.
He don't want to fight Mike.
In this world with hormone replacement and vitamins and he does all this electrical muscular stimulation recovery stuff. Like when they were training Mike for that Roy Jones fight, like they were using state of the art.
Here we go. The Logan Paul Appreciation Society. Yes, Logan Paul, the YouTube star turned wrestling daredevil, now known for launching himself off ropes like he's trying out for *fast and furious stunts. Wild stuff. And Jake Paul? We're apparently expected to forget he's a YouTuber and admire his boxing. Sure, let's ignore his split decision loss to Tommy Fury, an undefeated boxer. Impressive? Maybe. Groundbreaking? Not exactly. Let's keep some perspective here.
Fucking bobbing and weaving. He's going to have a recognition.
Yeah.
He's going to look over and go, oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like, look at this.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Dude, I'm talking, it's still at 55. And at 55, the power is the last thing to go. But the thing is, the speed is still there.
Yeah.
He's fucking.
Now let's dive into the Mike Tyson Fantasy League. Picture Jake Paul standing across the ring, realizing he's facing Mike freaking Tyson *. Because what could go wrong when a 20-something influencer steps into the ring with a man who, even at 55, could shatter a ribcage? Tyson, armed with state-of-the-art science, hormone therapies, and enough electrical muscle stimulation to power a small city, remains utterly terrifying. But hey, everyone loves a good mismatch, right? Then there's Roy Jones Jr., who faced Tyson in what seemed like a please don't hit me in the face agreement. Smart move. Yet somehow, Roy found time at 54 to box Anthony Pettis. Because why not? Who doesn't want to see an aging legend test himself against someone less battered by wars? Shocking split decision loss aside, Roy's love for the grind endures. Nostalgia. Sure, but it's a fine line between gutsy and questionable.
Mike Tyson. And then he got this offer to fight Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So he gets in insane shape. And the next time I see him, the second podcast we do, Mike now weighs 200.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when recalling his second encounter with Mike Tyson. Amid the chaos, Jake Paul's name unexpectedly came into the mix, highlighting a sharp contrast to their first meeting. Back then, Tyson was all about staying chill, avoiding anything that might provoke his inner beast. But once he got the call to fight Roy Jones Jr., the transformation was nothing short of biblical. Tyson was back in full fight mode, terrifying everyone in the room, including Rogan himself. Even the podcast table's width was carefully calculated to ensure a safe buffer zone from the living legend.
Kevin Hart said it best. He goes, it's like being in a room with a lion. Like, even if the lion is...
Jamie Foxx's old joke is like someone let a pit bull let loose in the room. They don't know whose it is.
And then Jamie's got to play him in a movie, which has got to be terrifying. Like,
here's where it gets wild. After Tyson's fight with Roy Jones Jr., Joe Rogan couldn't help but draw a comparison between the spectacle and the rise of Jake Paul. Jake Paul is out here calling himself a boxer, Rogan said, practically rolling his eyes through the screen. Can you imagine Jake stepping into the ring with someone like Tyson? Forget the table, you'd need a mode. And it's not just Rogan who sees the absurdity. Kevin Hart and Jamie Foxx have both issued warnings about being in the same room as Tyson. Jamie Foxx famously joked, "It's like letting a bull loose and not telling you who it is." Rogan couldn't agree more. You don't poke the bear or the lion or whatever apex predator Tyson happens to embody that day. Then Rogan dropped the hammer. Jake Paul is no Mike Tyson, not even close. The kid's got hustle, Rogan admitted, but stepping into the ring with Tyson, legend or not, would be a one-way ticket to the ER. I hope Jake's ego can take a punch, because his face definitely can't handle Tyson's.
Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead.
Is Jake Paul a legitimate boxer? Well, if you define legitimate as knocking out retirees and taking on athletes who moonlight as fighters, then sure. If we strip away the YouTube origins, remove the influencer gloss, and just focus on his actual fighting, Jake looks competent. He's not flailing around, not cartoonishly bad, just a guy who knows how to throw punches without tripping over himself. If he weren't Jake Paul, the YouTuber, maybe we'd all be calling him the future of boxing. Or maybe not now. Let's talk about this Tyson thing. Jake's apparently willing to step into the ring with Mike Tyson . Yes, Tyson, who at 57 still exudes an aura that could probably scare Jake into shadow boxing himself. Bold, right? Except there's a tiny gamble here. Tyson might not be the human wrecking ball that once obliterated Marvis Frazier in 30 seconds. Let's be real. Marvis didn't just lose a boxing match that night. He attended his own career's funeral.